Today I fucked up by cleaning my ears properly. TW, gross.
Now, I guess this is more I fucked up all my life until now. I'm 20, I'm an adult.
I thought I knew some stuff, including how to clean my ears.
About 2 weeks ago I went on vacation and I went by plane. When I got back I started to have trouble hearing.
I had to tell everyone to speak louder, I could barely understand them. I thought it was normal. Everyone always tells you that it's because of the pressure while flying and all that.
So, 2 weeks pass.
I tried some sprays, some medication. Didn't work. Tonight I've tried the spray again, and I went to clean my ears with a Q-tip, like I always do. This time, it was different.
I put the Q-tip in a different angle and it went
farther? It went really far. Farther than I've ever done it. And it hurt, a bit. But when I pulled the Q-tip out, God! What a sight! There was this 90% solid matter on it, a really dark brown. Really dark, black almost. I used another Q-tip. More stuff came out. And then another and I kid you not, at the end of this there were like 15 completely covered Q-tips.
Oh.
I then went to talk to my family and I could hear them just fine. Yay!
But I feel so dumb right now.
Too long did not read. I'm 20 and this is the first time I've cleaned my ears properly. It was utterly gross.
They sell a product called Debrox that is a gel eardrop.
It fizzes and breaks up earwax. You then flush with a bulb with warm water.
That is the proper way to clean your ear.
Q-tips are not supposed to be used because they can cause an impaction.
As someone who has problems with earwax buildup, I have to use it twice a month to prevent a trip to the clinic for a flush.
I had an ex that spoke in chronically, what-s. I got fed up and forced him to let me check his ear, and when I say I cleaned out the largest chunk of wax ever. I've seen some of the comments, I've read OP's 15-tip confession. This was worse.
This man was 32, so I can only imagine how long he had the huge almost black wax block in his ear. The sheets make noise when you rub them?
Flushed, was probably the wildest statement I heard him say. Oh man. I just went to my GP for this 2 weeks ago. He brought out this massive syringe and empties about 2 liters of fairly hot water into each ear. A glob of earwax about the size of a pea came out of each. They had such defined striations I thought I would find fossils in them. I was going to ask if I could take a pic and thought, no one needs to see this.
Not wanting to spoil the party, but doctors tell you not to stick Q-tips in your ears, as you risk simply pushing the wax further in and compacting it, if not actually damaging the eardrum. That's probably what caused your problem in the first place. I think the best way to clean your ears is with a jet of hot, but not too hot, water which softens the wax and hence removes it. My wife has some kind of earwax scraper thing with a camera on it that connects to her phone. She loves using it on her ears to get the wax out. One day she goes to use it on mine expecting a ton of wax since I never really clean out my ears. I've never seen someone so disappointed in clear ear canals. Q-tips are not good to clean out ears. You can damage your eardrum or shove the wax further in the ear. Next time go to an ENT doc and let them properly clean out your ears. I go once a year. It's glorious. Today I fucked up by overstaying my welcome at my girlfriend's apartment. So I, 27M, have been dating my girlfriend, 26F, for about 3 months. Things have accelerated very quickly, and we've spent less than 10 nights apart from each other since we met. My AC is not keeping up with the Florida summer, and even though I've had an AC repair guy out 3 times, it's still about 80–85 degrees in my upstairs room all the time. My landlord doesn't want to replace it, and she's charging me about 50% less than she could for rent, so I haven't pushed her. She's not some big landlord, this is just her old townhouse and is her one and only rental property. Anyways, I've been sleeping at my girlfriend's apartment a lot. She has 2 roommates, and today, one of her roommates was asking about my AC. I asked her if she was uncomfortable with me being here. Apparently, both her and the other roommate have sexual trauma, and having a man randomly in their apartment all the time and in the middle of the night has not done their mental health any favors. I feel terrible, and I sincerely apologized. One night we told her roommates we were staying at my place, but it was 85 in my room, so we came back. I went down to get water in the middle of the night, and she just saw a man standing in her kitchen after having fallen asleep on the couch.
I scared the shit out of her, but I didn't realize it. Luckily, I can hear my girlfriend very calmly and cordially talking to her roommate downstairs. Too long did not read. I was staying with my girlfriend and her roommates are extremely uncomfortable with a man being around all the time. Buy an AC, dude. Dude. Buy a portable AC for your room. It's nice that you're aware of the issue, but this is an easy way to fix it, especially with paying reduced rent. Good to let them know you're around, but also not good to keep them perpetually uncomfortable in their own home. Might be worth investing in something for your own place. AC units can be pricey sometimes, but I managed to snag one for $140 CAD the other day. Worth every penny, and maybe you can alleviate some stress not only from your girlfriend's roommates' lives but your own as well. At this point you should seriously consider offering to pay some rent. Your GF's roommates signed up for a 3-person living situation. Dude. Even if they don't have sexual trauma, it is rude to the roommates to basically squat at an apartment in which you pay no rent and no bills. They agreed to live with 2 other women, not a 4th person who is a man. It's so fucking inconsiderate when people think they can just force their significant other on their roommates. This is their home. Please let them be comfortable in their own home. Today I fucked up because I forgot about my chest port for a year. Honestly, I feel panicked and embarrassed right now. A little backstory. Before I got cancer, I had recent trouble with IVs and decided to get a chest port in preparation for chemotherapy and regular lab work. Before the chest port, it usually took a few attempts and an ultrasound to get an IV while in hospitals, which included emergency surgeries. It was very traumatic time. The chest port was stress-free and made later hospitalizations easier. I barely noticed its existence. When I found out my cancer scans were clear from my oncologist 1 year ago, I was told to go back every 4 months for CT scans and blood work and get my chest port flushed every 6 weeks. I was undergoing a lot of stress at that time. A family member almost died, and I moved 5 hours away. It's been a rough year, but doing better physically. Today, I have a memories widget on my phone, and today, it reminded me of a photo that I took 1 year ago today, when I had last seen my oncologist. Well, I just realized I haven't had my chest port flushed in a year. I know there's a risk of a clot and feel like an idiot. I honestly don't know how I forgot that it needs regular flushes. I guess I'll call around Monday to see if a nearby clinic can flush my port. I feel so stupid and honestly don't know if I caused any harm, medically speaking. I don't see a clear answer on Google. I hope I didn't FCK up even more because I have not had scans either. Too long did not read. 1 year ago, I was cleared of cancer and just needed scans, monitoring every 4 months. My chest port still needed to be flushed every 6 weeks to avoid clots and complications. I forgot everything for the last year. Pensive face. Yeah, you fucked up, but no big deal. Maybe it'll flush, probably not. They'll take it out and bada boom bada bing. No more chest port. Sounds like you don't need it anymore anyway. Congrats. Worth calling your oncologist about this as soon as they open Monday morning. Ports aren't intending for indefinite implantation without routine flushing, but they're fairly sturdy. Some last longer than others. You've gone this long without an apparent infection or clot, but you just never know what the future holds. Visit your doctor ASAP to figure out next steps. Not much else you can do except try to keep on top of this stuff better than you have been. Not everyone can juggle a million things while they are recovering from cancer. Definitely try reaching out to your oncologist for a social worker or nurse case manager who can help connect you to local resources, too. Their job is to help everyone out, from the big to the small. Just ask for help. You are definitely not the first person to do this. And, most likely, the nurses will just be so happy to see you, regardless of the situation. Source: was an infusion nurse and have endless compassion for the struggles that occur post-treatment. Chemo brain. It will improve. Goddamn. And here I was thinking the memories function was only an annoyance lol. Good thing you got the reminder, and congrats on beating cancer. Honestly, with the severity of my ADD, I would have done this without the stress of a family health scare and huge move lol. Other commenters have said you'll be fine, so just chiming in to commiserate time blindness. Today I fucked up by embarrassing myself at Spencer's. About a month ago I decided to buy a rose toy at Spencer's. So while my mom was at another store at the mall returning a product, I went in Spencer's and picked out my toy. When I got to the checkout counter, despite having bought toys 3 times previously, I was very nervous. After the worker told me the price, I handed her the cash. She then told me that I did not hand her enough money, so I apologized and shakily handed her a couple more dollars. The annoyed worker then said I was a couple cents short, and I apologized again and handed her the correct amount. After having bought the toy, I realized I had been in the store for a while and that my mom might be looking for me. I didn't want to get caught with the Spencer's bag and I was freaking out. Right to the side of the cash register, while customers were checking out, I tore open the box and slipped the toy and charger into my bag. For some reason, I didn't think to turn away from the customers so they couldn't see what I was doing. I then looked around the store for a trash can, as I couldn't be seen carrying a Spencer's bag outside of the store if my mom showed up. Panicking, I asked another worker if they had a trash can, and before they could even say anything, I handed them the ripped open box and the bag. I then ran out of the store with the rose toy in my purse. To this day, I still feel very embarrassed about this. I don't know if it's illegal or anything to unbox a sex toy in front of strangers, and I know that might be a stupid question, but I still feel very guilty about this. I'm sorry to the Spencer's workers and customers who I may have traumatized. Should I feel guilty for this? Too long did not read. I freaked out when buying a rose toy at Spencer's and wanted to hide the evidence from my mom, so I unboxed the toy in front of the workers and customers and shoved it in my bag. I then handed the trash to another worker and ran out of the store. You're fine, lol. I'm more than willing to bet anyone in that Spencer's, especially the ones working there, has seen far worse. I feel embarrassed just reading this. Jesus Christ. Spencer's employees are very chill people. You could have explained you were with a parent. Either way, they won't think much of it, I'd imagine. Just try to find a way to get a laugh out of it and move on. You'll forget. Once you grow up and go to the adult stores, you'll realize nobody gives a fuck. Hell, your mom probably has one in her drawer. Everyone does it, don't be embarrassed. I worked at a Spencer's for years and this is one of the more mild things. You're totally fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Nothing illegal occurred, and you're probably not the first to open their toy in the store.